Alrighty, so finally I got to watch episode 4 of Love Island UK 2023. And we're going to start off here with Zara. I got their pictures up here because everything's getting a little confusing for me. So first, Zara was the bombshell that came in on episode 3. And she's getting to know everybody, going to talk to all of the guys in episode 4. And that's how it starts out. And I like it that she's giving each guy a nice chance. And then they pan over to Ron, who admits to the camera that his head is being turned by Zara. But, he's presenting a little bit of a different picture to Lana. Like, his head isn't being turned. But he admits to the camera that his head is being turned. And then we see Will. Will is the only single guy in the villa, and he is very vulnerable for the next elimination. And that's unfortunate because Will has a really good sense of humor, and we all like watching Will. But he just is not chatting up the girls like he needs to, and the guys are really trying to encourage him to, get around and talk to them. And then we see David, who is our second bombshell that came in. And I gotta find his picture. Okay, there we go. There's David. So David comes in and he only picks two different girls to talk to, Tanyel and Tanya. Well, Tanyel, who is coupled up with Tom, no, sorry, she's coupled up with Kai. Let's find Tanyel. Tanyel shoots David down right at the beginning. She gives him no hope for her. So David goes back to Tanya, and Tanya is coupled up with Shaq. And we can see Shaq afar, and he's like, oh, hello. What are you two talking about? But he's pretty cool about the whole thing. But he's watching from afar, and we're seeing the tension certainly rise in Shaq at this point. And we can see him getting kind of emotional. And then they pan over to Harris and Anna Mae. Well, Anna Mae tells Harris, there's just nothing here, Harris. I'm going to go for Kai. Anna Mae likes Kai. And Kai says, hey, the conversation flows really good with Anna Mae. Whoops, Anna Mae. This is Anna Mae. He says, our conversation is flowing really good here. But he's coupled up with Tanya. So we'll see how that plays out because we're seeing some competition for Kai now. All right, so Anna Mae tells poor Harris, nope, just not feeling anything, sorry. Well, Harris has some hopes for Olivia, okay? But Olivia, let's find Olivia. Olivia says, nope, sorry, I just think Harris is too immature. So actually, things aren't looking really good for Harris. And I think Harris can feel that, and I see tensions rising at this point in the episode with Harris and Shaq, and that's going to come to a head. Not because they're actually against each other, but things aren't going well in the villa for Shaq or for Harris. Okay, and then Tom, yeah, Tom was looking really good that first night in them underwear. I tell you what, he was funny. And the girls are starting to vie for Tom. Oh, let me see if I can find Tom. Let's see here. Where's Tom? Okay, there he is. Tom. So the girls are starting to really vie for Tom. And we'll see that more in the challenge. So, and I thought it was really funny as they're getting ready for the big evening night to do this beer bong challenge. Kai looks in the mirror and he's like, oh, I'm so good looking. And that really reminds me of that old song, Lord, it's hard to be humble. I couldn't help but think of that when Kai said how good looking he was. See, I'm getting confused with them all already. There's just so many people in the villa. So, then we go back to Tanya. David, it's not David, it's David. David picks, let's find David right there. Okay, David picks Tanya for a 30-second kiss. Well, Tanya is like, after like 20 seconds, she's like, no. And then, even though her and David were vibing earlier, when Tanya kisses David, she says to the camera, there's nothing there. That was a horrible kiss. There was no chemistry at all. So I think at this point, Tanya has shut down David. And then, as the beer pong challenge continues, I don't know what they call it over in the UK, but that's what we call it here in the US. As it continues, we see Zara pick Zara. Oops, where are we at here? Went too far. Went too far. Where's Zara? Oh no, wait, I didn't. Zara, there she is. we okay. So Zara picks Tom out of all the guys she's talked to. Zara picks Tom to snog. Okay, and this, of course, does not sit well with Olivia. So the tension now is mounting between Zara and Olivia. Okay, and you're going to see that more at the end too. So it's starting to get good. This beer pong, these challenges really bring out the stuff and who's really attracted to who, and it starts to bring out some tensions because the reality of whether or not somebody is actually attracted to you or not is now on full display. And then Kai chickens out because he got the question in the beer pong challenge. Who would you want to take home to your mom or something? Well, there's a couple girls vying for him, and he did not pick either one of those girls. He chickened out, and I think he kissed Tanya on the cheek, and he kissed Tanya on the cheek, saying, "I'm not committing who I'm going to pick yet," because we see Anime wanting to get near Kai, and we see Tanyel wanting to get near Kai, but he did not pick Tanyel, and he did not pick Olivia to show that girl was who he wanted to take home to his mother. All right, so then and then Shaq kissed Lana in the tournament, I think because Tanya is just, she's just not showing a lot of interest in Shaq, and I think Shaq is finally realizing it. And so just to show Tanya that she doesn't have him completely under his thumb, he kissed Lana, but I don't think he really likes Lana. I think that he was just showing Tanya, hey, I can kiss other people too. And I'm starting to feel sorry for Shaq at this point. But so then Olivia, who is liking Tom and is actually coupled up with Tom, has to nibble somebody's ear who she's most attracted to. So Olivia nibbles Tom's ear, the footballer. Okay. And we see now Olivia going for Tom, and we see Zara. We see Zara going for Tom, okay, and the tensions are really, really rising between them two, and they're going to go at each other very soon. Woo! And it gets heated too. So Zara gets the question, who do you think is the Islander? Kiss the Islander on both cheeks who you think is two-faced. So Zara kissed Olivia on both cheeks, and oh my goodness, that burned Olivia up really bad. And earlier in the thing, we see Olivia being, you might disagree with me, but Olivia was a little bit two-faced when she was talking with, let's see if we can find Tanyel. She was a little bit two-faced, saying, Olivia was like, let's just keep this between ourselves, about Tanyel actually liking Ron a little bit. Okay, so Tanyel and Ron, there's this thing flaring up between these two, and it does seem pretty natural between them two actually, but Tanyel is with Kai. So we are seeing Olivia just being a little sneaky, but it really wasn't that sneaky, but it was a little bit. But it was interesting, and yeah, okay. And then so after the challenge is over, okay, Olivia pulls all the girls to the side, all of them except for Tanya, and of course not Zara. not Sarah, okay, but she pulls all the other girls, Olivia does, to the side, and she's really complaining about being called two-faced. Well, surprisingly, and this makes me actually like Tanyelle a lot, Tanyelle was trying to be a peacemaker during that, and she was like, she could have just been picking anybody that she was, and she was actually doing a little bit of peacemaking there, which I like seeing. But Olivia was not buying it, and she's like game on with Kara because they both like Tom. They both like Tom, and it's going to get heated, and it's going to be interesting to see who Tom picks out of those two. So, at the very end of the episode, and then I'm going to get off, this will be at the very end of the episode, Shaq is sitting there talking to the boys about Tanya and how, like, during the challenge, Tanya could pick 3 boys that she wanted to, that she thought would be the best kissers. So Tanya picks 3 boys that she thought would be the best kissers, and she is coupled up with Shaq, but she didn't pick Shaq out of 3 boys to kiss, and so you could tell this really burnt Shaq up, and his anxiety level is up to here now, okay? And then Harris says something which he probably shouldn't have, and this is where we're seeing a little bit of Harris's immaturity. I don't think he meant anything against Shaq, but him and Shaq got in a really heated, standing up in your face type of thing argument, and the boys had to pull them away, pull them apart. And so we're seeing pretty much Harris, who has not really clicked with anybody in the villa, his stress level, and Shaq's stress level, because they're kind of bombing in the villa at this point, and we're seeing them too. Their stress levels are high, and I can't, actually I'm going to watch episode 4 and make another video as soon as I can, because probably today, because it's getting good now, and I want to see what happens later on in the next episode. So that's it. That's where it ended, was Harris and Shaq getting pretty heated with each other. All right, that's it. I shall sign back in when I watch episode 5 of Love Island UK season year 2023. All right, see you then.